Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Thursday night. Going just a touch early this morning or afternoon, evening, wherever it is with you. Um, there is a Starlink launch tonight and wanted to steer clear of that. I did not think I was going to make it because they were at the same time, but thankfully Elon has delayed it an hour and a half. So we can get out of the way and yeah, been a fun day in space flight. Anyways, uh, so we're gonna get into some politics. Obviously, there's some Iowa caucus, things like that went on. Have some results from that. We have some interesting legislation that just passed. I think everybody should be really happy about that. That was uh, that was a smart ass comment. Anyways, we found out Bidenomics, actual Bidenomics, like the actual plan. There's a release of that. And yeah, much more to get into. So without further ado, we're going to get started, like I said, so we can get out of the way for the launch from Vandenberg. Uh, I thought this was very interesting. This is uh, an actual article. So America was better under Trump. That's not a good thing. A racist nation built on the graves of slaves and indigenous people deserved Joe Biden. So I really hope this isn't the new strategy. I hope the new strategy is not saying that Trump was good, but yeah. No, it's 4C out of Vandenberg, California. So, but let's get into it and let's say hello to everybody. What's up, Russell? Digger 420. Hello, hello. Jason J. Linda. Hello, hello. Daisy Girl. Good to see you. And Neo. What's up, man? And we have Daisy Girl over on Rumble as well. Did I do Rumble? I did Rumble. Hell yeah. All right. This is not a sarcastic article. It is a legitimate article. I'm not reading the article because I'm not giving him any credit or play. But yeah, I went and did some recon. This is an actual legitimate article, and it shows that doing good isn't good for certain communities and blah 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 bullshit. So it is a legitimate article. I don't know this publication, the Atlantia. I'd never heard of it before today, but yeah, it was legit. Moving on to something that should infuriate everybody. Breaking 107 House Republicans joined the 207 Democrats to keep the government funded without any concessions for real border security, without any concessions for anything. There's more money going to Ukraine, more money going to Israel, blah, blah, blah. Another CR, which has led to calls, as we'll get into a little bit later, of recalling the Speaker of the House, because this is one of his things. He said we would not do CRs. We would figure out budgets. And his first vote, his first budget, his first crunch, bam, passing another continuing resolution. And it passed with a lot of support from Republicans. So just over half. So the government will not shut down because, of course, the Senate, I think it was 77 to 11 was the total vote there. So, oh, what's up, Gemini? Good to see you. Also, I said I didn't trust this Johnson guy, and there's good reason. So this is him after voting on this and after everybody was talking about voting on another CR. So we'll go ahead and listen to his response. So
Some members of your conference who opposed the spending deal you reached with the Senate have talked about a motion to vacate. Chip Roy talked about it yesterday publicly. Tim Burchett has said that he's still pondering it. What do you say in response to those members, and are you concerned that you could lose your job over this deal, as the last speaker did over the first CR?
No, look, I'm not concerned about that. We're leading. Chip Roy's one of my closest friends. We agree on almost everything in principle. What I've talked with him about is the reality of being in what is soon to be the smallest majority in the history of the Congress, except for one exception, I think in 1917, according to my research. We have very difficult challenges, but we're going to advance the ball. We're going to advance
just
our
another one.
conservative principles, and we are going to demonstrate that we can govern well. And I'm going to keep trudging forward. Look, leadership is tough. You take a lot of criticism. But I remember I am a hardline conservative. That's what they used to call me. I come from that camp. Chip and I agree on
You're not a
spending, but
hardline
we've got to
conservative.
dramatically reduce it. And I have a long record as a legislator of trying to cut spending. And when I was chairman of RSC, we prepared budgets that would get us back to balance. So this is a very serious priority of mine. This, to me, this deal, this agreement, is a down payment on restoring us to fiscal sanity in this country. It's critically important. Remember, last week we crossed a dangerous threshold: $34 trillion in federal debt. $34 trillion. We borrow every 140 days, as Congressman Schweikert pointed out in our conference this morning. Every 140 days, we have to borrow $1 trillion. Just think about that. The scale of this is incredible.
Yep, and you just kicked the can down the road yet again. No real budgetary, no funding anything that the Republicans even remotely wanted. And it's just more money for your Ukraine, more money for Israel, more money for this, more money for that. And yeah, it's never going to end. It's going to be the same thing over and over and over again to many different people. We found Bidenomics. Text you, send it to Ukraine. They send it back to me through Hunter. That is his economic vision. So at least we know now. At least we know. Because I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. But at least we now know. And knowing is half the battle. I don't know what half, because I feel like we already did know. But I'm trying to find the bright side in this bullshit. What's up, Ashley? So, I mean, it's a good plan if you're the big guy. But other than that, we're kind of getting screwed. Speaking of Uncle Donnie, legal efforts to remove Donald Trump from the 2024 ballot in Washington state have failed, now allowing him to remain on the state's ballot. So this came out earlier today. Apparently, they've reached a conclusion. They cannot remove him from the ballot. Go figure. We already knew that. So he will remain for now on the ballot in Washington. There'll probably be more. Bidenomics is working. That's why they keep saying it. That may be. Good news on the Biden front. We're going to finally learn about all his crimes and hold him accountable in like 2 months. February 28th, deposition with the House Republicans, says the committee. Why he gets another month and a half to prepare and gets that kind of, I don't know, man. Like, it's all just clown world. It's all just clown world anymore. Especially when you find out the next story about the venerable, smartest guy that Joe Biden knows, Hunter Biden, in his new court filing that the DOJ says the FBI found cocaine on Hunter Biden's gun pouch in 2023. So not only did he illegally obtain the gun, he also had illegal drugs on the gun. And if that were you, me, or anyone else we know, it would be nothing but downhill for us. And he gets to get away with it. Stonewall, grandstand, jump around. Yeah, I don't know. So again, it's nothing but clown world. It's nothing but clown world. Just over and over again. and it's starting to get to the point where we got to change something, or like I would say, we're part of the problem if we don't change it. So we have to, at some point, stand up and do something about it. Um, which brings us to our next story. What's up, Fiery? How you doing, bud? And Bobby, what's up, dude? Possibly. It could have been. It could have been in that same locker, for sure. I did see that, Daisy. So, seen where Matthew Frost penned a bill to have the Statue of Liberty removed if House Resolution 20 is pushed forward. Yeah. I mean, if we can fix illegal immigration that way, go for it. I said, I'll give it up. Send it back to the French. Scrap it. There's a lot of copper there. If it means solving this next problem, then I'm all for it. This is Tucker on X, or Tucker Carlson News, or whatever the hell he's called nowadays. Your discretion.
The United States of America is being invaded.
For the love of God, this is a damn invasion. Who is allowing this?
They invaded our privacy.
I think it's an invasion of the country.
In other words, it's ending. The country you grew up in no longer exists. Soon it will be unrecognizable. No one is fighting back. Few are even acknowledging it. And the people who lead us are letting it happen. Why are our leaders letting this happen? Well, to destroy the country and to change the demographics. Who lives here determines what the country's like. This country is changing faster than you may understand.
Hey, HT.
Americans are being replaced. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. In August of 2023, illegal immigration outpaced American births, a brand new population. Last year alone, over 3 million people came here illegally just over our southern border. The media won't tell you it's happening, but if you look around, you can see it, and you can see it most clearly in our cities, which are collapsing.
I mean, you can see it all over the place. You see reports of it. You see all kinds of everything. Immigration has gotten completely out of control. And again, it's a problem that nobody has any interest in solving. We just keep going further and further and further down the road of just letting these people in. And you can't, at the numbers, the staggering amount of numbers that we're at this point, there's no possible way that we can deport all these people. It's just not realistic. It's not. So we're going to be stuck with these large populations of individuals that come to our country illegally and don't have America's best interest at heart. And it just continues. And we just saw the CR. Nobody's going to do anything about it. I didn't look to see how long the CR, but I'm assuming they did it until fall, because that's usually what the hell they do. So you're not even going to get a debate on it until fall. So we're not going to see anything, even if we do, by some stroke of amazement, get a President Trump back in the White House. He won't be in the White House for 1 year and 3 days from today. It's too far. Too far. My rural town just reached a population of 45,000 peeps, almost not included. Wow. Which was the goal we were aiming for in 2040. Damn. And it's like that all over. Don't worry, this guy's in control though. And he's a genius. He's talking about free McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Who remembers, during the pandemic when schools were shut down, and the Sergeant First Class mentioned it, kids weren't able to attend school, so they go online. How many of you spent time in McDonald's parking lots tapping into their internet so you could do the homework with your kid?
I mean, yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe. It's fine. You wouldn't. We're listening to it one more time.
Who remembers, during the pandemic when schools were shut down and the Sergeant First Class mentioned it, kids weren't able to attend school, so they go online.
What's up, AP?
How many of you spent time in McDonald's parking lots tapping into their internet so you could do the homework with your kid?
Hello?
Who remembers,
Damn it. Hang on. Okay. Seems to be back. All right. Whoever's written these for them needs to include these being a PDF sometime and take one for the team. He wouldn't notice it. No, like he did what was it, 2 Christmases ago where he said, "Let's go, Brandon." I mean, come on. Damn. I don't know. He did. He did. He also said this. I think this is the last Biden clip, so hopefully.
Are the airstrikes in Yemen working? Well, when you say working, are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes.
Are the airstrikes working? Are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes. No, they're not working. They're not working at all. But we're just going to deal with it. We're just going to deal with it. We're just going to keep bombing other countries just for the hell of it, just because we can. Why not? Like, why should it matter, right? No, so the aircraft video that he put out after he went to, I think it was Israel, we all said there's no way in hell that's the same dude. It just can't be. There's no way. We're looking at the chin, the ears, all that kind of stuff. I don't think it is, but why in the hell did they get somebody who is maybe even worse? Or he deserves every award for acting ever in the history of mankind. Because he's doing one hell of a job being a, never mind, demented old man, a man with dementia. All right. So moving back to Uncle Donnie. Georgia prosecutor Fani Willis faces hearing on alleged misconduct. The judge overseeing the Georgia prosecution related to former President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election has scheduled a hearing to address a motion alleging a romantic involvement between Fulton County DA Fani Willis and a special prosecutor in the case. In an order issued on Thursday, Fulton County Superior Judge Scott McAfee set the hearing for February 15th and directed prosecutors to submit their response by February 2nd. The accusations put forth by defense attorney Ashley Merchant in a motion filed last week claim that Willis's alleged romantic engagement with attorney Nathan Wade, who she hired, creates a conflict of interest, suggesting that Willis personally benefits from the prosecution. The motion aims to dismiss the indictment and have Willis and Wade removed from the case. These allegations have been seized upon by Trump and other critics of the prosecution, who argue the case is compromised and should be dismissed. I tend to agree. It's obvious there was some favoritism, some bias, some stuff going on there that probably shouldn't have been. He also has only prosecuted, I believe, one felony case in the past and nothing ever this high profile, so he's ridiculously underqualified. Yeah. That is true. Lizard people can change shape. That's true. Hey, what's up? Fiery, 7-month member. Hey, all, fighting like hell cancer is a motherfucker. Studio so close to being done. Go back to the doctor next month. Hope you all are well. Well, I hope you kick cancer's ass, bro. for real. And keep fighting. Go to your doctors. Take care of it. And it's good to see you around, man. Really is. And thank you, sir. Right. Let's see. Oh, these temperatures here are ridiculous, AP. Like, I've been exhausted for like a week. It's got to stop. It's gonna be cold again tonight. So, Trump, we asked to delay the trial. So this is him speaking on delaying the trial. His mother-in-law passed away. There was a funeral, and they denied him going to his mother-in-law's funeral. They're being really shitty to him, even if it is a legitimate prosecution, which I don't think it is. They're being incredibly shitty to him. So, what's up, Generals? Hey, Neo. I got a message for you, brother. Oh, where did it go? There we go.
Go fuck yourself.
There you go. All right, we'll listen to the president talk about how he's getting screwed every which way.
Well, thank you very much. So, as you know, the First Lady's mother passed away. The funeral is tomorrow, and we would have assumed that for a trial like this, it's not an emergency in terms of timing. The judge would have been very nice and would let me go because I want to be at every trial day because I saw what happened in the first one where I was asked not to go by the lawyers very much. They said, it's demeaning. There was no evidence. There was no anything. And so I didn't go. And I understood exactly what he meant when he said it was demeaning. There was no reason to go and you shouldn't go. And I decided on this one, same judge, he's a radical Trump hater. And I said, I will go to all days. So what happened very terribly is we asked to just delay the trial for one day so I could go to the funeral tomorrow and then we could start Friday or Monday or any time they want. And he said, absolutely not. The trial will go on just as it is. You can go to the funeral or you can go to the trial, but you can't do both. I thought it was terrible. So he would rather have me miss the funeral or go to the funeral, miss the trial. And that's a nasty man. He's a nasty judge. He's a Trump-hating guy. And it's obvious to everybody in the court. It's a disgrace, frankly, what's happening. It's a disgrace. Happens to be a Clinton appointment, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. So that's as to that. Second order of business, I'm leaving right now for New Hampshire. We're making a big speech up in New Hampshire. We just got a poll in that shows me leading by a lot. And I think we'll do there maybe similar to what we did in Iowa. The difference is that in New Hampshire, they allow Democrats to vote for whatever reason in the Republican primary. And they also let independents vote in the Republican primary. So that is a big difference. But we have a nice journey. It's going to take place in about 5 minutes when I'm finished with you people. I'll be leaving for New Hampshire, in other words,
What do you mean, you people,
this.
Mr. President?
And then as to the trial today, it was a very interesting day. As you probably noticed, it's a big story that the witness today, a person I never knew, I never had anything to do with. It's a totally rigged deal. This whole thing is rigged, election interference.
Damn.
But this is a person I have no idea until this happened, obviously. I have no idea who she was, and nor could I care less. It's a rigged deal. It's a made-up, fabricated story. Well, they found out today that she got rid of a lot of evidence, as you probably noticed. She got rid of massive amounts of evidence. And in addition to that, she had a rifle or a gun because she said she bought gun bullets or rifle bullets. And it was the opposite, I guess, of her gun. And was it licensed? No, it wasn't licensed. So I guess she's got a difficult problem. That's going to be her problem. But she has a gun or a rifle. She didn't really explain which. She might have both because she said she bought rifle bullets. So and it's totally unlicensed. So I assume that's a problem.
No, right?
But the judge was protecting her. He didn't want to go there. We don't want to go there. We don't want to. If that were me, it would be a different story. But with her, the judge is totally protective of them. And frankly, anybody in that court would see it. Frankly, it's a disgrace. That's probably one of the reasons our country is going to hell. So the big take today was that she deleted and destroyed massive amounts of evidence. And we think that both trials should be thrown out because it's ridiculous. They should be thrown out. And I frankly am the one that suffered damages. I should be given money, given damages. And that's where that is. And with that being said, I'm heading out to New Hampshire. Thank you very much for being back here. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
I hope he makes it back to the White House, but I fear he's not going to. Genuinely, I fear he's not going to. So, there's a lot of people that want him out of the picture completely, and it scares the hell out of me. Because when all this court shit doesn't work, what's the next step? So, forgot to play this one with the other one, so we'll listen to it now. This is the real reason for immigration from Humpty Dumpty himself.
And we need immigrants in this country. Forget the fact that the farm that our vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many immigrants, many illegal immigrants. The fact is that the birth rate in this country is way below replacement level, which means our population is going to start shrinking. And the ratio of people on Social Security and Medicare is going to increase relative to the number of people supporting them.
So they need to pick the vegetables and pay into our Social Security. Yeah, Mr. Penguin. Yep. Oh, really? Oh, gross. Exactly. Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. In an open hearing. So, it makes it seem like it's not that far off. So, all right. So moving on. I thought this was interesting. We'll let this play through and then I'll discuss. This is the new head coach of the New England Patriots football team. That's Robert Kraft, who likes getting massages at by Asian girls at Happy Endings massage parlors. That's not even allegedly. He got caught doing it a while ago. Yeah, and this is the new head coach of the New England Patriots. Damn. Beware the bearers of those false gifts and the broken promises. Much pain, still time. There's good out there. We oppose deceivers. Conduit closing. Well, thank you, sir, for the membership. So this is interesting.
I do see color because I believe if you don't see color, you can't see racism. And whatever happens, black, white, disabled person, I've always, even someone with disabilities, I always, for the most part, people are like, when they're young, they kind of make the spot hot. Younger people know what that means. But what I would say is, like, no, I want you to be able to go up to those people and really understand those people. So it goes back to whatever it is, black, white, yellow, it really doesn't matter, but it does matter so we can try to fix a problem that we all know we have.
So apparently skin color does matter now. See, I'm still trying to keep up with the rules. So we rallied around MLK and, that it wasn't about the color of the skin, but the content of the character. And now, thank you, Mr. Mayo, for telling us that skin color does matter. I wonder what the hierarchy is. Personally, I'm asking you if you can release a hierarchy chart because that might be helpful to some. It's obviously bullshit. It's bigoted. It sells everything that we knew before. It's racist. It's everything that they claim to be against. And it's right. That's why I want like a hierarchy chart of which one actually does matter. So I can be accurate. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Melanin levels. That's why we need a chart. I thought it was ignorant. It pissed me off, and I wanted to share it. Moving on to another thing that was ignorant and pissed me off. I didn't know about this, and I keep pretty good attention on certain things. I didn't know they were releasing a report on the Uvalde shooter, and that's been pretty hot news today. So this is Merrick Garland talking on the Uvalde shooting and the fact that the officer stood down for some time. So, yeah, this was an unfortunate situation by some cowards that fuck protocol, go in and save kids, and deal with the consequences later. My personal aside on that one may not be the same as everybody's, but that's fine. They're little kids. Go in and protect the kids, and I guess that's where I'll leave it so I don't get in trouble.
Our children deserve better than to grow up in a country where an 18-year-old has easy access to a weapon that belongs on the battlefield, not in a classroom. And communities across the country and the law enforcement officers who protect them deserve better than to be forced to respond to one horrific mass shooting after another. But that is the terrible reality that we face. And so it is a reality that every law enforcement agency in every community across the country must be prepared for. No community and no law enforcement agency should have to face that threat alone. That is why we came to Uvalde, and that is why we are releasing this report. The Justice Department remains committed to working in partnership with communities across the country and with the law enforcement agencies working to protect those communities every day. In particular, we stand ready to help communities and agencies prepare to respond to a terrible incident like the one that occurred here. We have concluded the department's review, but we know that the work of healing here in Uvalde is only beginning. We are humbled and grateful to stand with this community as you remember and honor your loved ones.
Oh, fuck you, Merrick Garland. Yeah. Fuck you, Merrick Garland. It's gun's fault, right? It's an 18-year-old that had an arsenal that rivals many that have been collecting for a very long time. There's a lot of fucked up weird things that happen there. I'm not going to get into them because I don't have Alex Jones money, but I think you know the direction I'm headed. So we're going to get by that one before I get in too much trouble. Really? Huh. It is. It is. Damn guns, SUVs, baseball bats are acting up again. We had a Circle K worker charged with an assault, and he took a beating from some dude who managed to get the bat off and fought back. Yeah, stand up for yourself. Defend yourself. I mean, I don't know. Garland is evil. Let's move on to some more evil. I was gonna say it. Damn it, ex-government. Evil Chuck Schumers. So this is after they came out of the meeting room talking about how this CR and handing out our money. Fuck all these people. But and then we have the Republican response after, or the so-called Republican response, but yeah, from one to the other.
Well, thank you very much. It was a very good meeting and a very positive meeting. There was a large amount of agreement around the table that we must do Ukraine and we must do border. there was tremendous focus on Ukraine and an understanding that if we don't come to Ukraine's aid, that the consequences for America around the globe would be nothing short of devastating. And within a year, we would be on our back foot doing all kinds of things that we wouldn't want to do. That it was essential, and there was Democratic and Republican agreement that it was essential we help Ukraine. We also talked about the border and how it's so important to deal with the border. The president himself said over and over again that he is willing to move forward on border. And so we said we have to do both. There were a couple of people in the room who said, let's do border first. We said we have to do both together. In the Senate, and let me make one more point. The only way we will do border and Ukraine, or even either of them, is bipartisan. You cannot do things with one party in a divided Congress. And so anyone who says, any party that says do it my way or no way, we're not going to get anything done. And I think there was broad agreement in the room that we had to do this in a bipartisan way. Speaking in the Senate, we are making really good progress. I am more optimistic now that we can come to an agreement on border and Ukraine in one package, along with aid to Israel, along with humanitarian aid for the Palestinians in Gaza, and along with helping us Indochina. I am more optimistic than ever before that we'd come to an agreement. I put the chances a little bit greater than half now. And that's the first time I can say that. And so we hope to fund the government this week. And then if we can come to an agreement, we haven't come to an agreement yet in the Senate, move very quickly on the supplemental very shortly thereafter.
What was the president's response?
Yeah. Thank you, Leader Schumer. I'm thankful to President Biden for convening the legislative leadership from both the House and the Senate. It was a very positive, forward-looking, candid discussion about the issues of importance to the American people. First and foremost, that funding the Ukrainian war effort is in America's national security interests. And it's important that we sustain the effort, not simply just for the good of the Ukrainian people, though they are allies of the United States, and that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
But it is urgently necessary that we continue to support the Ukrainian effort for the good of the free world, for the good of democracy, and for the good of America's national security interests. And there was broad agreement on that point. As Leader Schumer has indicated, there was also an openness to, in a bipartisan way, addressing the situation at the border. It has to be bipartisan. It has to be reasonable. It has to be effective. It has to be consistent with American values.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so now we'll listen to the supposed GOP's response, and it's just as bad, just so you know.
Thank you all for being here. We had a productive meeting, I think, House and Senate leaders. The president was very forthright. I told the president what I have been saying for many months, and that is that we must have change at the border, substantive policy change. We documented 64 instances where the president took executive action or his agencies took action to create the current catastrophe that we have at the border. It is a national security and a humanitarian catastrophe. And I articulated that to the president in the meeting now. We understand that there's concern about the safety, security, sovereignty of Ukraine, but the American people have those.
What is wrong with this guy's hair? Is it just me, or does that bother anybody else? Like, it looks like he's almost wearing like a fake mask and fake hair. Sorry. We'll continue.
The same concerns about our own domestic sovereignty and our safety and our security. We have talked about the necessary elements to solve this problem. We passed our bill, and it has critical elements. It's a restoration of the
good, it wasn't just me.
It is the end of catch and release. It is reform the broken asylum and parole systems. We're not insistent upon a particular name of a piece of legislation, but we are insistent that the elements have to be meaningful. The House is ready to act, but the legislation has to solve the problem, and that's the critical point. We understand the necessity about Ukraine funding, and we want to say that the status quo is unacceptable. We need the commander-in-chief of this country, the president of the United States, to show strength on the world stage and not weakness. We cannot continue with the current status quo. We understand the importance of what's been needed, but when I met with President Zelensky just last month, right before Christmas, he said that the necessary ingredient is the proper weapons systems that they need. There are certain things that are needed to ensure that they can prevail. We need to get questions answered about the strategy, about the end game, and about the accountability for the precious treasure of the American people. We understand that all these things are important, but we must insist that the border be the top priority. I think we have some consensus around that table. Everyone understands the urgency of that, and we're going to continue to press for it. I want to thank my colleagues here, the chairman of our committees of jurisdiction, for being here, and thank everyone for the time today. Thank you.
All right, so that's more bullshit by the GOP that doesn't stand for us. So anyways, breaking, North Korea claims to have successfully test-fired solid fuel intermediate range ballistic missiles. They're going to end up being a proxy. They're going to do something stupid that's going to put us all at risk. So, also breaking, North Korea, and I believe these are not breaking. Sorry, Digger. North Korea abolishes agencies handling inter-Korean affairs. So there's a lot of moves out of North Korea in the recent days. Kim Jong-un shuts down radio stations suspected of broadcasting coded messages to South Korean spies. North Korea has reportedly ceased operations of radio station identified as Radio Pyongyang, which is previously utilized for transmitting coded messages to agents stationed in South Korea. This development, disclosed by the Yonhap news agency on Saturday, suggests that a shift in North Korea's approach to its relations with Seoul. In recent weeks, North Korea has escalated pressure on Seoul, designating it as a principal enemy and asserting that reunification with the South is an unattainable goal. Additionally, the country has expressed its determination to enhance its capabilities for delivering a nuclear strike on the United States and its allies in the Pacific. Radio Pyongyang, recognized as a number station, has traditionally broadcast enigmatic code numbers believed to be intended for North Korean operatives operating in South Korea. Notably, the station's website was inaccessible on the reported day. During the year-end meeting of the ruling party, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un directed a decisive policy change in relations with the South, instructing the military to be prepared for potential actions to pacify and occupy the South in times of crisis. So we're seeing a lot of ramp up there. We're seeing a lot of ramp up with the North. I think they're going to be used as a proxy by either Russia or China. We already see the arms trading with Russia, some missiles, some things back and forth. I think they're going to be used as a pawn to do something stupid against the United States. So, exactly. I think that's the plan. So, yeah, he is. He's sending people out to get him. So, North Korea, the new Ukraine to drain China. No, I think that they won't be as ridiculous as we've been with Ukraine. I think they're going to use them probably to strike the American homeland or an ally, and then kick it off real good. So, damn. More war news. This situation kind of pissed me off, and again, it's one of those. What the fuck did you just say? So there's 2 missing Navy SEALs that happened just around the time of our strike. They say they went overboard and are in the ocean, Red Sea or Indian Ocean, somewhere in that general vicinity. Neglecting the fact that they're Navy SEALs, for fuck's sake. And if anybody could survive in that kind of situation, it would be, I don't know, maybe the Navy SEALs. So this is their update. They're holding it really hush-hush, and there's something shady going on here.
Could you give us an update on the follow-on from the SEAL mission?
In terms of when you say an update?
Search and rescue.
Yeah. So on the search and rescue, the CENTCOM continues to lead that effort. It is ongoing. Certainly, we hope that we are able to recover our teammates. Our thoughts and prayers are clearly with their families at this time. I don't have any specific updates to provide right now, other than that that's ongoing.
Could you give us an update on the?
So no update on the servicemen that were lost. There's something shady about this that I don't like. So, but yeah, I don't know exactly what, but I mean, potentially. I haven't got any information on them. I've been looking, but it's very hush hush right now. Very quiet, which gives you some indication that there's something fucky going on anyways. So, yeah, exactly. Hey, what's up, Light Rain? So, moving right along the shit show. So here we go. Pakistan launches air strikes inside Iran. Pakistan's intelligence officials say. And we're going to kind of go through these pretty quick because there's also there's some updates, and I mean there's a ton of this right now. To say that World War III hasn't already kicked off or it's about to would be, you'd have to be blind. Iran claims responsibility after massive explosions reported near U.S. consulate in Iraq. That was in retaliation for us striking Yemen the other day. Then we go on here. U.S. Central Command Forces conducted strikes on 14 Iran-backed Houthi missiles that were loaded to be fired in Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen. These missiles on launch rails presented an imminent threat to merchant vessels and U.S. Navy ships in the region and could have been fired at any time, prompting U.S. forces to exercise their inherent right and obligation to defend themselves. This was late last night. And then, like I said, we'll kind of scroll through these reports of sources in Western Yemen of U.S. aircraft. This is from an hour ago. Probably some more airstrikes, if we're being honest. Houthi sources are reporting significant activity in recent minutes by U.S. aircraft in Western Yemen, as an hour ago. Reported to attack the Marshall Islands flagged an American-owned chemical tanker earlier tonight in the Gulf of Aden, utilizing 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles. So they hit another boat. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. CENTCOM announced renewed strikes earlier. U.S. Navy in the southern Red Sea, which resulted in the destruction of 2 Houthi anti-ship ballistic missiles, which they detected being transferred to launch sites. They apparently shot down an MQ-9 Reaper. That's what it says. Appears to have been shot down over eastern Iraq by Iran. 2 attempted attacks on commercial shipping vessels in the last couple of hours from the United Kingdom. Joe Ford came back home. Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced Operation Margbar Shakarma, a series of highly coordinated and specially targeted precision military strikes conducted last night against terrorist hideouts in the Sistan and Balochistan province of eastern Iran. I mean, this is just nonstop. It's nonstop. There's countries hitting countries. Pakistan. So Pakistan's fighting Iran. Iran's fighting the United States indirectly. It's just, and it just goes on. And this is all within the last 24 hours. So, this is about as far as I previewed, so I don't know what comes up next, so I'm not gonna go much further. What's up, Zero? Whoop, shit. Hey, Zero, great. I don't want my comments to get shit. You're fine. You're fine. So it's obviously that the war is getting hot in many, many different locations. Also getting hot in many, many different locations. ABC News cancels New Hampshire debate. I'm fine with that. And the important part is we've had 5 great debates in this campaign. Plenty. Unfortunately, Donald Trump has ducked all of them. He's nowhere left to hide. The next debate will either be with Donald Trump or with Joe Biden. I look forward to it. Probably likely that you're going to have neither. You probably won't have another debate. We're being honest, but yeah, she was pissed that Donald Trump wouldn't debate. Doesn't need to. He's obviously winning the party, which we'll get to in a minute here. Yeah, co-partner Nikki. So, also in the run for president in 2024, Vivek Ramaswamy to drop out of the 2024 presidential race. He did indeed drop out, and the next clip we have is him endorsing President Donald Trump. So, I don't think anybody ever thought he was a serious contender. I think he was there to make noise. Some of my friends here think that he happened to be kind of a globalist plant type of dude. Very well could have been. But yeah, so here's Vivek.
And right now we need a commander-in-chief who will lead us to victory in this war.
I shit you not. I was watching it with everybody in Discord, and there was an article that came out from CNN that I forget what it said. It said something about that how close Nikki Haley was in Iowa and blah blah blah. She's a legitimate challenger to take the GOP nomination. It was right after they called it for Trump, and apparently Haley was very close to Donald Trump. It was razor thin. And I call bullshit because it wasn't. It was not. He still could be, yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I shared it with Dazzer as we were hanging out in Discord. So
that's what we need in this country. You got to know you're in a war to win one. You can't win one if you're asleep at the switch, have your head stuck in the sand like most Republicans. And I think that's going to require somebody who isn't bought and paid for, a businessman, not a politician. Anybody heard of that? And that's why I was in this race. But I'll tell you, the people of Iowa spoke loud and clear last night, and I'm a big believer that we, the people, create a government that is accountable to us, not the other way around. That we, the people, choose who leads this country. And so we heard we, the people, last night, and that is why last evening I met my friend here. We met in person, and I told him that I would endorse Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, and do everything in my power to lead us to victory in this.
wow, that was terrible. It's Twitter's video. Twitter's video has been terrible recently. So the other candidates in that race, the aforementioned Nikki Haley. I thought this was a telling clip. So it's Governor Sununu, or I forget where he's a governor to. But watch this. Don't listen to little Hillary over here. Watch this guy's face when he's talking or when she's talking. That's the important part of this clip.
$200 or less. This is a grassroots network. They're picking one Democrat donor, but they're not looking at all of them. I will tell you, the number one $200 or less. This is a grassroots network.
What the hell are you talking about,
one
lady?
Democrat donor, but they're not looking at all.
I thought that was funny. We're raising tremendous amounts of money, believe it or not. A number of it's coming from Democrats. No shit, Nikki. Jesus. Is she that stupid or that bought and paid for? I know.
What she had raised in the quarter before that. So the money train is still flowing and going. Are you worried though?
Thank you, Neil, for having me, and Happy New Year. I
To you
didn't.
as well.
We actually have a large fundraiser on the 30th of January at a major apartment in New York City, where we're raising a tremendous amount of money. Believe it or not, a number of it coming from Democrats.
What?
So that was from our campaign or whatever. No shit, they're paying you. No shit, they're paying you. Yeah. Yep. So then we move on to another candidate. Ron DeSanctimonious, as he's called. And this is him before the Iowa caucus. So
You are not dropping out of this race tonight or tomorrow, no matter what. Fair?
We're going on. We've been built for the long haul. It's all about the accumulation of delegates.
Even if you come in third place tonight, there's no chance your campaign is dropping out. Is that what you're saying? There's no chance.
We're
you're
in
out
it
of
for
this?
the long haul. We're going to do well. I know the media likes to do the speculation. I'm excited.
asking the questions.
I'm excited for the votes to come in, because that'll be the first real data point.
he knows what's going to happen to President Trump, and he's just waiting to lap it up. So that's my opinion, because I think he'll beat Haley. And yeah, we'll leave it at that, because I don't even put that out there, because I hope it's President Trump. Speaking of President Trump, here's him delivering pizzas to firefighters during the Iowa caucus, or before it.
A lot of pizza. Can I have some too?
Yep.
A lot of pizza.
Mr. President, you can bring me some pizza, dude. I'm kind of hungry, but just a totally different, and that doesn't feel like it's forced. Yeah, it's a campaign event. It's done with intention, but it doesn't feel like it's forced like some of these other people. Yeah, there's some bias there. Here's another clip from President Trump.
And tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know about that?
Thank you. America will not become China. I don't know what the white cap is supposed to signify. I know that it's the new red cap. I don't know if there's anything more to it than that. If there is, I'd love to know. I'll read up on it, but oh, it'd be incredible. Like, it would be absolutely incredible. He even stayed and had pizza with them. Yeah, I mean, he just seems genuine. He really does. So here is I agree with this sentiment. This is after he won Iowa.
Crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problem.
I agree, sir. So would I. Oh, is he? Yeah, I mean, that would be good. Some buddies. I know I know in a deeper section of it, the white hat is the good guy, like when you're talking about hacking or government ops, and the black hat is the corrupt or compromised individual. So could be something there. I don't know, but I'll read into it for sure. So that's all with the politics, because all that matters is right there. Trump 51%, DeSantis 23 or 21.3, and Haley 19. And this Trump number widened from that point. So it was absolutely dominant. President Trump won, no question. And yeah. So for all those who have kids or have had kids, this one might be a little rough for you. It's not as bad as the crime corner when we get into, that kind of stuff. But still a little scary. Vermont state trooper plunges into freezing waters to save 8-year-old. Cambridge, Vermont. Vermont state trooper plunged into a frigid pond and pulled out an 8-year-old girl who had fallen through the ice while playing with her siblings. The child survived and fully recovered after a brief hospital stay. So apparently, I believe this is his body cam.
Say again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, baby. Call rescue!
All right, we're gonna go past that, but great work from that officer, and thank God that the kids on it. Yeah, should have sent a canine. Yeah, she is a trooper lady. Exactly. Wow. If you're gonna go drown, cold water is the best to get saved later. Huh. Yeah. Exactly. Coast Guard finds 2 dead, rescues 3 from overturned vessel near Sitka, Alaska. In southeast Alaska near Sitka, a tragic incident unfolded this week as a boat was overturned, resulting in 2 fatalities and the rescue of 3 others from the water, according to authorities. The U.S. Coast Guard was alerted by local police on Tuesday about the overturned boat. A Coast Guard helicopter successfully rescued 3 people from the water around 5:50 p.m., approximately an hour after the initial notification. Efforts to locate the 2 missing individuals continued, and on Wednesday, state and local authorities, aided by underwater drone, discovered their bodies inside the boat cabin. The challenging conditions, marked by winds and 10 to 12-foot seas, complicated recovery operations for authorities, as mentioned by Petty Officer Shannon Kearney on Thursday. The spokesperson for the Alaska Department of Public Safety, Austin McDaniel, identified the vessel as a landing craft style boat. A death investigation will be conducted by Alaska wildlife troopers to ascertain the circumstances surrounding the incident. At this time, there's no additional information regarding the condition of the 3 survivors during the rescue. Water's scary. Water's scary. It can. Huh. I don't often choose a place of my own drowning when it's icy cold. Only the finest. I prefer spring water, yeah, if I'm gonna drown. But that's what I thought. It was a little different, so. Huh. That's cool. Huh. GOP Senator Chuck Grassley, if anybody had him in your Deadpool, is hospitalized. GOP Senator from Iowa, Chuck Grassley, age 90, is currently undergoing treatment for an infection at an Iowa hospital, as revealed by his office on Tuesday. In a statement, his office conveyed Senator Grassley is receiving antibiotic infusions at an area hospital to treat an infection. He was in good spirits and will return to work as soon as possible following doctor's orders. Senator's temporary absence coincides with looming deadline for potential. Like that, we already see that went through. Yeah. Maybe our political leaders are too old. Maybe. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. This guy wasn't too old. Former New Orleans Saints linebacker Ronald Powell dies at 32. NFLPA announced on Tuesday that former New Orleans Saints linebacker Ronald Powell passed away on Monday at the age of 32. The cause of his death has not been disclosed. He's only 90. So, I know, right? Probably. This has nothing to do with something that's probably, yeah, exactly. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, almost like a X platform died suddenly, maybe. Also, in the world of football, Colts owner Jim Irsay had suspected overdose. And he's found unresponsive at his home. In December, and this was a little bit ago, but I have no idea why it was held for so very long. But Colts owner Jim Irsay was reportedly discovered unresponsive in his bed, prompting police to his residence. According to records from the Carmel Police Department, as reported by TMZ, so you know it's reliable, officers were called to Irsay's house on December 8th, finding him grasping to breathe at the weak pulse. The records say Irsay was found on the bathroom floor, but was later moved to the bed. Officers attempt to revive him using sternum rub and a dose of Narcan. For opiate overdoses, the Narcan had an effect. Paramedics took over treatment upon their arrival. He wouldn't have, I don't know, he wouldn't have struck me as one of those guys, but apparently he was. So, Jim Irsay. Weird. Very weird. Hang on. Because I can't end with criminal shit. That would be bad. Okay. So, here's one more. 4 dead, 1 critical after hot air balloon crash in Arizona. Tragedy struck on Sunday morning in Pinal County, Arizona, as a hot air balloon crash claims the lives of 4 people, with the 5th person remains in critical condition. The incident occurred in the remote desert region approximately 5 miles north of the town of Eloy. The identities of the victim were being withheld pending the notification of their next of kin. The cause of the crash remains unknown. So this is Phoenix. This is allegedly where the crash happened. And my wife really likes hot air balloons and wants to go on one. I have zero interest. Zero interest at all. They're terrifying. So now we're going into that crime corner section. So if anybody is squeamish or doesn't like that kind of stuff, probably not the section for you. Viewer discussion is advised. Trigger warning, all that good stuff. The first one's kind of funny. True. Wow. Dang. Yes. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. All right. This one's kind of funny though. Connecticut man allegedly digs up neighbor's yard. Says they're pirates. He looks like the type of guy too. And he's only 62. Think about how old. Oh, never mind. That'd just be depressing. A Connecticut resident is facing multiple charges following complaints from his neighbors that he excavated their yard and accused them of being pirates. You don't want to be in the whim of the wind, poor Mystic. No, no, nope, 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 nope. All right, take care, Ashley. Thanks for stopping by. According to WFSB, 62-year-old Mark Ujastayed has been charged with the risk of injury, second-degree threatening, fourth-degree criminal mischief, breach of peace, and simple trespass. Ledyard police responded to a call from a concerned citizen on Saturday around 10:15 a.m. The caller reported that her neighbor had used a rock rake to dig up her front yard and was refusing to leave. Upon arriving at the scene, officers discovered that he had walked to the caller's property under the belief that he owned the entire neighborhood and accused the caller and her family of being pirates. According to the police statement, the caller's husband confronted him about his property and digging up his yard. He began to yell and scream obscenities directed at the caller's husband and young children. He then swung his rock rake in the direction of the caller's husband in a threatening manner. During questioning by the officers, he claimed that he was digging up the yard because he believed his neighbors were attempting to install a water line. Ujastayed was subsequently taken into custody and is being held on $15,000 cash or surety bond. I believe you, brother. I think they're pirates too. I believe you. All right, so moving on to the... It does sound very one-sided. I don't know. Probably not that far. So now we're going to get into the... the people that D's would smash. Exactly. I guess. Kentucky teacher's aide admits to having sex with numerous boys at the same time. What do you think? Is Dazzer even here? I know D's isn't, but Dazzer, are you even here? What do you think, bud? Lexington, a Danville, Kentucky woman, Ellen Phillips, normally known as Ellen Shell, 38, pled guilty on Friday before Chief U.S. District Judge Danny Reyes to attempted online enticement of a person to engage in conduct. Phillips, who at the time of her offenses was employed as a teacher's aide, was conducting relationships with numerous teenage boys in the Boyle and Garin County areas. Phillips would communicate to the victims via Snapchat, Facebook, or text messaging, and many instances would meet the victims for the purpose of engaging in activities. According to Phillips' plea, she engaged in activities with multiple minors at the same time. In her plea agreement, Phillips specifically admitted that on December 20th, 2020, she attempted to entice one into sexual activity. In this conversation, Phillips messaged the victim using Facebook and repeatedly attempted to get the victim to sneak out of his house for this activity. When the victim said he could not leave, Phillips offered alcohol and oral to the minor and offered excuses the victim could tell his mother as to why he needed to leave. Carlton Shire, U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Kentucky. Oh, that's just people giving themselves pats on the back. Yeah, she, I don't know. Exactly. All right. Texas man murders 4, including 8-year-old girl, before killing himself. He should have started there, probably. Over the weekend, a tragic incident unfolded in the suburban Houston as a 46-year-old man identified as Ulrich Shaw Barrett fatally shot his estranged wife and 3 other relatives, including his 8-year-old niece, before taking his own life, authorities revealed on Wednesday. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's horrific, and you kind of wish you would have started with himself, maybe. That probably would have been a good place to start and save everybody else the bullshit. It's insane. It's yeah. Anyways, moving on. I think I'm gonna save that one until later. This was yesterday in Indiana. How Indiana? A massive police presence is underway following reports of an active shooter at Dollar General. Currently, there's a massive police presence in Howe, Indiana, following reports of an active shooter at the Dollar General store. At this time, it's unknown if anyone's been injured or shot, and the exact number of people involved remains uncertain. Law enforcement officials are urging the public to avoid the area, and it's still developing. And there's not... The shootings would continue as we're desperate to disarm you. Your local CIA. We don't agree with that, necessarily.
Oh my gosh,
True. There was never an update, and I assume that it was probably just a robbery, because like Jason said, those are common stores for robberies, armed robberies, and getting knocked over. This is not common. Bride is paraded in handcuffs after being arrested on her wedding day. She's in Mexico, so Mexican authorities announced Friday that the bride was apprehended on her wedding day as part of an extortion scheme involving her prospective husband and 6 other individuals. The woman, only identified as Nancy N. by Mexico state prosecutors, was taken into custody last month during a coordinated operation as she prepared to marry her spouse, identified as Clemente N. Another suspect in the extortion case, the groom, known by the alias Mouse, managed to evade capture. The couple belonged to a larger group accused of extorting chicken merchants in Toluca near Mexico City and were implicated in the suspect kidnapping of 4 workers from a poultry shop in the same area. Chicken's big business in Mexico, man. Among 8 suspects arrested, Santiago N. was accused of using an Explorer-type truck to transport kidnapped victims. Prosecutor's office released photos of the individual involved in the extortion scheme, along with a video montage depicting Nancy N. in handcuffs, still clad in her wedding dress, and images of purported evidence. Authorities suggest that the suspects have connection to the La Familia Michoacana drug cartel. So the wrong drug cartel in Mexico, apparently. So yeah. But I don't know. It probably wasn't a real wedding if she was extorting the system. This one is going to yeah. So exactly. This one will probably have some strong emotions. We're probably all pretty close to on the same page, but I don't know. We'll see. PA man charged with killing bar owner. Oh wait, no. This is the wrong story. Never mind. This one isn't the one I was thinking about. PA man charged with killing bar owner and raping his fiancee in 2013. Never mind. Detectives with Buck County District Attorney's Office and Hill Township Police Department arrested Philadelphia man on Wednesday for the Hilltown Township murder of Joseph Canazaro. Thomas Delgado, 50, was arraigned Wednesday before the court. Criminal homicide, rape, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, criminal conspiracy, and related charges. He was sent to Bucks County Correctional Facility and denied bail. Yeah, this is definitely the wrong one. One of the two men who broke into Canarazzo's home during the home invasion and robbery. Police say the men tied up Canarazzo, his fiancee, and juvenile son, and ransacked the home, taking guns, money, jewelry, and other items. While inside the home, the female was assaulted. The woman and the boy managed to escape, and she called 911. When police arrived, they found Canazaro, 48, dead inside the garage. So multiple stab wounds. This is the criminal dude. This is the individual. So I feel like you need that explained. Shit, where's that other one? I must have cleared it out. Anyways, we'll just move on. Rifle, pounds of drugs seized after felon skips court in Kansas, arrested in Nashville. I love these pictures where they just put everything out on the table, like they're all proud of it and shit. It's always funny. Nashvilleian Troy Douglas' decision to skip Kansas court appearance has landed him in more hot water, on top of being free on a $130,000 bond tied to a Davidson County incident, charging him with aggravated kidnapping, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and auto burglary, all related to a 2021 DV case involving his former girlfriend. Douglas was arrested in Junction City, Kansas, last November on his way to Nashville with 250 pounds of marijuana. He posted a $150,000 bond. When he did not return for court, a bench warrant with full extradition was issued in Kansas. Authorities there learned that Douglas was staying at address and requested the MNPD's assistance in locating him. On Thursday, Undercover Specialized Investigation Division detectives were watching the home when Douglas came outside and got into his truck. He was immediately taken into custody. A bag of marijuana was recovered from his vehicle. Douglas was uncooperative. He denied coming out of the home, denied living there, although the electricity is in his name, and denied owning the truck that was registered to him. Given the totality of the circumstances, a search warrant was issued for the home. Inside, detectives recovered 51 pounds of marijuana, 2 AR-15s, one of which had no serial number and was fully automatic, with a loaded 100-round drum mag, 106 grams of coke, 3 grams of hallucinogenic mushrooms. 3 vehicles registered to Douglas were seized. So, yeah. Don't fuck with Kansas. And he had a lot of weed and other drugs. It's the moral to the story. I know, right? Oh, of course they did. So yeah, don't mess with Kansas, apparently. Don't skip out on bails in Kansas. Probably not going to end well. You may have already heard about this one, but White House swatted with fake 911 call reporting someone trapped. How the fuck did this happen? How did somebody at the White House get swatted? Like, that makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense. Can somebody respond to 1600 Pennsylvania? Like, Jesus. On Monday morning, someone placed a false 911 call reporting a fire at the White House with someone trapped inside. Responding to the call just after 7 a.m., multiple units from D.C. Fire Emergency Medical Services Department arrived only to determine that it was a baseless alarm. Okay. While no law enforcement team was deployed, Noah Gray, the communications director for D.C. Fire and EMS, noted the incident aligns with the swatting trend where individuals falsely report a crime to prompt a police response. The occurrence follows a recent surge in such incidents targeting public officials and many other people. The identity and origin of the call remain unknown. President Biden was at Camp David during the call, ensuring he was not at the White House at the time. There's some really fucking rough ones coming up. So once again, there's 2 more and then one not so bad. Horror. Girls in 50-gallon barrels rescued from father's doomsday cult in newly obtained footage. I hadn't heard of this prior. I forget what this guy's name is, but he does like interrogations and stuff like that. This is one that I'm going to keep an eye on, and maybe we'll see. Chilling moments as cop finds girls on Doomsday Cult compound where kids as young as 4 were married to their fathers. Newly revealed video footage captures the moment Utah authorities rescued 2 young girls who were discovered confined inside water barrels at a location of a doomsday cult led by their fathers. In December 2017, the police located the girls aged 7 and 4 shivering inside 50-gallon barrels on a desolate property utilized by the Knights of the Crystal Blade. Never heard of them. The body cam footage recently obtained by Explore With Us YouTube channel sheds light on the rescue operation. One of the girls was the daughter of the cult's self-proclaimed prophet, Samuel Schaefer, who is currently serving 26 years to life in prison. Schaefer pled guilty to that word and abuse. Were they? Damn. I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it. No, 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 no. I come from China for the swatting. Huh. I'll have to look at that one for sure. One of the dads made up the cult. All right, I'm gonna add that one to the. If there's any proceedings or something, maybe we'll take a deeper look into that one. And this guy. I can't even read the other. Like, there's another story. I just can't. I can't do it over here on YouTube. There's too many. There's too many words that are not acceptable for the screw tube. Hang on one second. All right, so I added that to my tab. This one's crazy. This one's crazy. Oh, of course, yeah. Not this kind of cult. You don't want to be this cult. Florida girl 11 presses box cutter to boy's neck in school and whispers threat, cops say. Naples, Florida. An 11-year-old Manatee Elementary School student faces criminal charges after she brought a box cutter knife to school that day and threatened another student with it. The student has been taken into custody on charges of possession of a weapon on school property and aggravated battery. The victim reported the incident to school administrators who contacted the CCSO. Detectives interviewed both students. The victim said the student approached him from behind in the school cafeteria and poked him in the neck with the knife several times while whispering a threat. School security footage reviewed by detectives and the youth relations deputy corroborated the victim's account. The youth relations deputy conducted a search of the student and found the box cutter concealed in her waistband. Like 11? What's up, Cool Frog? Yeah, that's what it says. Yep. Like a fucking 11-year-old for real? That's too much. It's too much, man. Shit's getting out of hand. The card. It's probably mental health, if we're being honest. But I don't know if I can say that. I didn't see any. No. There would probably be some kind of camera, but they're not going to release it because she's only 11. Right. There's a lot of questions here. Oh, really? Huh. Right. All right. So speaking of what Jason was talking about, well, kind of that same conflict, pro-Palestinian protesters attempt to breach the White House. Now, I will say with full disclosure, I don't trust the news media anymore at all. During the time when this was happening, I was contemplating going live with an article, and with some of the stuff related to it. I was watching live Earthview cams that are slightly delayed, but not terribly delayed, and I did not see a goddamn thing at the White House. Take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I looked in to do more information because I don't trust any media anymore. And that's exactly what was going on. There was not a single thing, not a single person out front of the White House at the time when the story was breaking. Take that for what it's worth. But I mean, because I was watching it when it was breaking. But today, thousands of pro-Palestine supporters gathered in Washington, D.C., following a large march to protest for a permanent ceasefire against Israeli protesters, filled the streets, marching across various locations in the D.C. area. Subsequently, they converged at the White House, where pro-Palestinian demonstrators pressed against the fences, attempting to breach them. The crowd shook the White House security fencing while throwing objects, including dolls, at the police officers. Reports indicated that all non-essential White House staff had been instructed to evacuate the building as a massive group of protesters pushed against the fences at Pennsylvania Avenue. So that happened. And here's video.
National beef! No trust national beef!
Yeah. We definitely didn't see Spider-Man.
Love the
I know
smell of
that.
lighter fluid. Yeah, it's like I'm ready to have a barbecue.
And again, I certainly didn't see Spider-Man on top of the Palestinian Spider-Man. Like, this brother, where is he at? This guy? I did not see him. But for real, Cheese and I were both reviewing footage from security cameras and live cameras from Earthview. We didn't see a single person out front of the White House. Same direction, same area that this was taking place. That's where the public cameras are. And we didn't see a single thing. So take it for what it's worth. So exactly. Yeah. I didn't know it was going to continue to get bad weather, but apparently there's a state of emergency. West Virginia governor declares state of emergency for all 55 counties. So if you're in this general part of the world, maybe keep your head up for some from winter storms tonight. Governor Jim Justice has just declared a state of emergency for all 55 West Virginia counties due to the winter storm event forecast to hit the state in the coming days. The National Weather Service predicts heavy snow, dangerous wind chills, and strong winds beginning today, Thursday, January 18th, and continuing throughout the week into the coming weekend. West Virginians need to absolutely be ready for the potential impact of this winter storm may bring to our state. Governor Justice said West Virginians should pay extra close attention to emergency officials and media outlets and be prepared if there are power outages. West Virginians take care of one another, so make sure to check in on your neighbors and loved ones too. Like I said, it's been incredibly cold around this general vicinity. And we've had some pretty terrible weather for certain. but I thought we were all out of it. I mean, now I'm gonna look and probably see that we're gonna get smashed coming up. Let's see. I'm not sharing, right? Good. No doxy. Yeah, we're just supposed to get an inch here. So it must be going slightly south. But it looks like an inch, and yeah, I'm not seeing anything in my region, my neck of the woods, but apparently the West Virginia area is going to get hammered. So, and not in a good way. Exactly. Yeah, they get the shit I got hit with here in Wisconsin Friday to yesterday. Huh. See, we got a little bit of snow this morning. It's been incredibly cold, but other than that, and I say that, and I'm cold, so I'm going to turn up my heater. All right. You got a foot of snow in 24 hours? Wow. We haven't had that much snow, but damn. All right. So, another aviation incident. If you're not afraid of flying yet, then maybe start figuring it out, because an American Eagle jet has slid off the runway at Rochester International Airport in Rochester, New York. Currently, numerous emergency personnel and other agencies are on the scene to an aircraft incident at Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester Airport in Rochester, New York. An American Eagle Flight 5811 operated by Piedmont slides off the runway due to icy and snowy conditions. There are at least 53 passengers on board. At this time, no injuries have been reported. Crews are actively working to remove the aircraft from the runway. Yep, that looks pretty bad. Sorry, I know I have to play twice. I got a message. So, wanted to check it real quick. Oh, no, fuck me. North Korea has announced they conducted a test of an underwater nuclear weapon. Well, we got to look into this now. See if we can see anything on Red Map or any Americans. Give me one moment, please. I don't see anything. Any trip sensors. There's one in Aussie land, but that could just be because nah, Ozzy might just got a package I sent him. Maybe that's what that one is. Jokes, people, jokes. No, I don't see anything on Red Map, so I'll keep an eye on that. That's just breaking. I don't know if it was recent or if that would have been the other day, which gets to another article. That's concerning, though. Stepping things up. Speaking of stepping things up, yeah, fuck it, go for it. Exactly. Great news. Boeing strikes again, this time in our favor. Boeing 737 malfunction leaves Antony Blinken stranded in Switzerland. This happened last night. On Wednesday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken encountered a change in travel plans while in Zurich, Switzerland. His initial aircraft and Boeing C-40 from the U.S. military service faced a critical issue involving an oxygen leak, prompting a need for a switch. A replacement plane was arranged for Blinken, but due to space constraints, the accompanying press pool was advised to opt for commercial. During the unexpected hiccup, Blinken is still anticipated to return to Washington, D.C., albeit with a slight delay on Wednesday night, according to the State Department spokesperson, Matt Miller. The mechanical setback did not disrupt Blinken's scheduled meetings, as he had already departed from Davos to Zurich before the issue arose. I'm starting to think that even I'm being too harsh on Boeing. They just can't catch a break, man. Like you like to see them fall, but not that hard. Damn. Accept my apology, Boeing. I want to never forget that on Monday we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and somebody thought that this $10 million sculpture was a good idea. There's hope for everyone. Of course. Maybe. So happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Watch incredible footage as a rare snow-nado hitting the slopes at Breckenridge, Colorado. Incredible footage captured at Breckenridge Ski Resort in Colorado over the weekend, where a rare snow-nado or snow devil was formed due to high winds that caused it to quickly emerge, swirling across the Breckenridge Ski Resort as a crowd of skiers watched in awe while people waited in the lift line. Although snow devils are weaker than tornadoes, they nonetheless showcase the same principle of nature, creating an awe-inspiring sight. The fascinating phenomena occurs when warm air from the ground and cold air from the upper atmosphere merge, producing a swirling vortex of snow and wind. It looks pretty cool, actually. Oh fuck, I didn't look. I'm sorry. Somewhere. Okay, I'll check. Thanks, Frog. Damn, that's cool. All right. So from Cool Frog, thanks, buddy. North Korea said Friday it tested an underwater nuclear weapon system in response to a joint naval exercise by Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo that involved a U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. The drills were seriously threatening the security of the North, so in response, Pyongyang conducted an important test of its underwater nuclear weapon system, HALE 5-23, under development in the East Sea of Korea, according to a statement from the Defense Ministry carried out by state news agency KCNA. Early last year, Pyongyang said it carried out multiple tests of a purported underwater nuclear attack drone, a different version of the HALE, which means tsunami in Korean, claiming it could unleash a radioactive tsunami. That sounds like fun. Analysts have questioned whether Pyongyang had such a weapon. Earlier this week, South Korea, the United States, and Japan carried out joint naval drills in the waters off Jeju Island, which they said were in response to North Korea's Sunday launch of a hypersonic missile. Drills involved 9 warships from 3 countries, including an aircraft carrier, the USS Carl Vinson. Pyongyang said Friday the drills constituted a cause for further destabilizing the regional situation and they are an act of seriously threatening the security of the North, the Defense Ministry spokesman said, according to KCNA. And it goes on for a little bit longer, but it's basically just rhetoric back and forth. But yeah, so the North's back to testing nukes. You know, when the North didn't test nukes, there was a guy, he's from New York and moved to Florida, great hair, big hands, just like mine. Fuck, what was his name? Oh yeah, that's the time where they weren't testing nukes, and we've gone full circle, and now the NOCOs are once again testing nukes. That's always a great idea. That's always a great idea. Do they want the fish to go? Maybe. Biden broke that the cable line and pipeline, now bragging about fixing it. Yeah. I also miss President Trump. On shit that it's starting to escalate like crazy. Thanks again, Cool Frog, for the article, buddy. So Little Rocket Man. I have that clip. Thanks, Jacob. I know I have that clip. We're gonna have to bring it back. No, maybe I don't. Did I get
Little Rocket Man?
There we go. I did have it. And this is my question.
There were no Russians in our campaign. There never were. Have you seen any Russians in West Virginia or Ohio or Pennsylvania?
He meant North Korea.
Are there any Russians here tonight? Any Russians?
No, Tita's gone. But damn, that's not good. That's a dramatic escalation of tensions and not good. Anyway, so a confirmed tornado is on the ground moving towards the area of Jensen Beach in Jensen Beach, Florida. National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for a confirmed and observed tornado moving towards Jensen Beach near Palm City, Florida. Reports of multiple power flashes have been received. Residents in the area should take immediate cover to ensure their safety. At this time, it's unknown if any homes or buildings have been damaged. This is crazy because we saw, and this was 3-4 days ago, but we've been seeing them across Florida at kind of an alarming rate.
She's choosing to help protect herself with
Pfizer's
RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory.
We don't need the big pharma ad in the middle there. Damn, moving right along the highway there. Well, yeah, they know how shit communism is, so of course. That is a big tornado, too. Damn. Hope everyone's okay. Speaking of hoping everyone's okay, a new volcanic fissure has opened up a few hundred feet next to the town of Grinjavik. This is that same one that erupted a little bit ago, and this was 4 days ago. A new one opened closer to town, so there's no sound to it, but quite a large lava flow. That one's not the violent one. Where the hell's the violent one? Here we go. We'll go to this video. Has erupted for the second time now, being extremely dangerously close to the town. It was very close to the town. Currently, after a powerful earthquake, swarms shaking the country's southwestern Breckajanes Peninsula volcano has erupted for the second time, unleashing large amounts of lava flows extremely dangerously close to the village of Grinjavik. The village, housing around 4,000 people, have been evacuated. Officials are closely monitoring the Blue Lagoon along with the geothermal plant near Grinjavik, which serves as a primary provider of electricity and water to up to 30,000 residents. That's crazy, the power that those damn things have. Yeah. Could be. Yeah, probably should, especially one like that. Those things are so crazy. There's so much power behind those and so much so much destructive force, it's insane. They're one of the scarier natural disasters. They built a wall, but the fish just opened up behind the wall. Oh, okay. Exactly. Exactly. It's also pretty mesmerizing, actually. People are just watching it again. I was kind of enthralled by it, but, this happened earlier in the week, so last Friday, because I do news every week. 3 magnitude earthquakes has hit northeast of Oklahoma City. Just 6 days ago, 3 earthquakes events recorded northeast of Oklahoma City. The initial earthquake registered as a magnitude of 3.3, succeeded by 4.7, followed by 2.7. Numerous reports from the Oklahoma area described hearing a boom and then feeling light to moderate shaking. As a result of the current assessment, there are no reported instances of damage. And here's a video. And there were a total of 9 earthquakes that were registered during the entire time. So, hell yeah, it is. So apparently there's some shaking going on in Oklahoma. This one was confusing. We had one Thursday off the east coast of the UK, 3.5. Damn. This was really confusing, and I still don't know that we've uncovered the reason behind it. Although maybe NOCO just gave us some indication. This was released on January 12th. It's very curious. So, a critical NOTAM warning. So, NOTAM used to be notice to airmen. Now it's notice to air missions because everything's got to be woke as shit. Warning has been issued for the Kwajalein Atoll, saying a hazardous area with the potential loss of life, caution to avoid extreme radiation hazards. This Marshall Islands complex is where we have in the past tested nuclear weapons ourselves. And as we stepped out of SALT and START, it wouldn't be uncalled for the United States to start nuclear testing again. A critical NOTAM warning has been issued for airmen off the atoll in the Marshall Islands. The notice states, attention to all aircraft operating in the vicinity of the atoll. For your safety, overflight of the island north of the runway is prohibited due to hazardous conditions that pose potential risk to life. All arrivals and departures must follow south traffic only to avoid extreme radiation hazards. Please contact base operations on 126.2. That's a radio frequency within 50 nautical miles of Kwajalein AAF. Ensure that your contact base ops prior to departure to deconflict with radiation hazards. The exact reason is currently unknown at this time, but this likely could be military testing or a possible radar feed. So there's some indication that the United States was testing. And then if you look more into the NOTAM, which is so it's December 28th to January 31st, surface and above overflying, and this is your entire a NOTAM is essentially no flight zone or a no fly zone. And it basically says the same thing. And people say, well, it was issued on December 28th. Well, it was actually issued. When was this article? 4 days ago? 5 days ago? It was just predated for that to the next date. So, interesting data point to be aware of for sure. I don't know. We still haven't identified it. Me and some of the other guys have been looking into it deeply to see if we can find anything. And we've been unsuccessful in finding information. So if we do, I'll happily let you know. All right, moving on. Multiple oil tanker trucks have caught fire with reports of large explosions taking place in Epping, New Hampshire. I thought that said effing at first. Currently, multiple emergency personnel along with hazmat crews are on the scene of a massive 4-alarm fire in Epping, New Hampshire. The fire involves at least 4 oil tankers that have caught fire, spreading to other tankers and causing large explosions. As of now, no evacuations have been issued, but there are reports of thick, heavy black smoke that can be seen visible miles away. And this happened on Saturday. But yeah, again, pretty intense.
Yeah. We're not, no.
When is their primary? It's on Tuesday.
Who are you talking about? People? Yeah. They pulled over there, yeah.
It's on Tuesday. Coming up. So after the weekend on Tuesday will be their primary. Again, kind of odd. Maybe a reason that gas prices, I don't know. It's interesting. I know that much. The Detroit Lions won their first playoff game in 32 years. Only the second one in my lifetime. And now we're breaking records again. I'm really excited about this. It's brought over $20 million in economic opportunities to Detroit, hosting the second game. Super stoked. I'll be watching the Discord again this weekend, but we broke a divisional record for playoff ticket price of $1,186. Average ticket price for a Lions-Bucks game this weekend at Ford Field. Insane. But that shows you how dedicated and how much we here in Detroit want a winner. And want another winner. And another one. So really proud of the guys. Great work. And yeah, go Lions this week. Also earlier, SpaceX sent 4 astronauts, one from Turkey, one from Sweden, one from Italy, and one from the United States on the commercial crew program Axiom Space for Axiom 3. And it was a successful mission. It was covered over on Rocket Garden Media. Many of you probably watched with me. So.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition, engine full power, and liftoff. So Axiom 3.
Further beyond, opening the door for more to follow. Godspeed AX3.
Was it really not Sweden? I thought it was Sweden for real. I wasn't trying to be an ass that time. Yeah. Marcus Vant of Sweden. Mission Specialist Marcus Vant of Sweden. I take it you didn't watch earlier, Comer. There. That gentleman, the mission specialist, went up on I thought you were telling me it wasn't Sweden, but it was certainly Sweden. But I checked. Highly successful mission. Damn, it was pretty to watch. And you should go check it out if you haven't watched it yet. Rocket Garden Media. So. And last story of the day, try and end cute and cuddly so we can move on with life and not be so damn depressed all the time. Fucking penguins, aren't they cute? They're having a conversation with their group passing buddy. They stop, exchange insurance information, and then they're off to the races. They are. They're like having a conversation. They're like, we're out. So some cute animals. He flew under the Swedish flag, sir. And that's all I care about. He had the Swedish flag on his little vest, on his mission patch. This one right here was on his spacesuit. So yeah, I thought they were adorable. Something to end the day with that wasn't terrible. With that being said, in about 15 minutes, there is another launch from SpaceX today from Vandenberg Air Force Base. As soon as I say that, they're going to scrub the damn thing yet again, probably, because can't catch a break in spaceflight anymore. I'm going to show this just so Comer will back the fuck off real quick. Oops. So he can go talk to his dual citizen countrymen. What patch is that? What patch is that right there? What patch did he decide to present? Comer. Do you know what flag that is right there? Because that's the flag he flew under. That's what country he says he belongs to. That's the one he picked, brother. That's the one he picked. Oh, hey, dog mama. Just had an MRI yesterday. Well, let us know. Is it feeling any better at least? No shit. Now I see you said a lot of pain. I'm sorry. I hope you get better soon. But yeah, that's definitely not that's definitely a Swedish flag. Just saying. Oh, that's what I was over here for. I'm checking to see if they are still flying tonight. Upcoming launch. Starlink 8:04 Pacific time. So yep, they are still on time as of now. So go over there and check them out. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the news tonight. It's not all bad news. There was penguins and a successful space flight. So with that, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you on the next one. Have a good weekend. We'll see you soon.